military powerhouse, and I think the military is great, but I think we need to think about other things like maybe outer space, or maybe the next generation of Americans coming here and being Americans.
And speaking of that, what's your view of the administration's immigration policies, and what role would you want Congress to have? What position would you want to take as a representative of the 5th District in regards to these policies?
Sure. They've corrected the issue, I believe, on separating the children from the families. And I think that it comes down to there's a legal process, and we have to follow the legal process. Whatever is determined in the court of law should determine the fate of these people coming to America.
The Dreamers or DACA children, your thoughts on that issue, please?
Sure. The DACA kids, the kids that are in America that have been here for 8 to 10, 12, 15 years, they have an absolute right to petition for citizenship. They're part of American society. They know the language. They should probably take the test for citizenship, like everyone else that has come to this country. You know, it's a civics test, and I would give them a forward step ahead over other people coming to this country.
Well, so it sounds like in general, you've been largely supportive of President Trump's policies. Is that a fair statement?
I don't think so. I think I am in favor of granting citizenship to people, the DACA people. I want the people that are coming to this country, they have to go through the legal process. Whatever is determines their fate. Do you know in Latin America, Mexico, all these other countries, you cannot just come to their country and say, I'm going to be a citizen. You have to prove you have money. To go to Costa Rica, you have to have $1,200 a month to live on, or you can't live there as a citizen. So all these countries have laws on their books. It's just that we're a gracious country. And so I know it's a contentious issue, but all these other countries have laws regarding people coming to this country. And so I'm just saying, going forward, let's let the legal process determine it. And if Congress can act with the president, I think we can cut a deal with him on allowing people to come to this country, but in a structured way.
Well, the president has talked about toughening the standards, limiting the amount of legal immigration, quite apart from the people crossing the border or who crossed the border years ago. How do you feel about that? We need more or less legal immigration.
Okay, are you talking about people just coming across the border?
No, I'm talking about people now going through the process
Okay.
to come in legally with green cards.
So, in the United States, America has had anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million people a year come in through legal,
Right.
become naturalized citizens. And that has been, so whatever the number they determine will be the number going forward.
Yes, but the president seems to think we need to reduce that number.
So right now,
As well as
it's right now
change
it's.
the criteria that determines your rank on the list. Less family reunification, more merit-based, based on skills and so on, that are needed in the country. Do you
Well,
favor that?
I think, I'm in real estate, and I've worked with many families who come here from India, highly skilled, and they're very successful. They're mostly engineers. And they come here, they buy a home, they embrace the American dream. And all I'm saying is there's a legal process if people come here illegally. And if they come here legally or have a family member, just that they have some means of taking care of themselves, that they don't become a ward of the state. I think so many, and I don't mean this in a bad way, is people come to America and they think that it's low-hanging fruit for them compared to where they've come from, and then they send their money back to where they're from. And you think of the Cedar Riverside, $100 million a year has left Minneapolis in the welfare and daycare fraud. You're aware of this. You read a story on it.
Seen the stories.
Okay. Channel 9 ran a story. CCO TV ran a story on it. And I think we need to stop that. It goes out in suitcases at the international airport, and I think that's, when you think of people on fixed income receiving government assistance, and here you have people receiving 35 grand a year.
Well, but let me understand, I mean, I think everybody is in favor of stopping fraud, whatever they do with the money, whether they keep it or send it. But remittances, on the other hand, there's nothing illegal about that, about people who are here on a green card or permanent residency of some kind, or citizens for
Sure.
that matter, sending
Sure.
funds to other countries. Would you change that? Would you prohibit that in some way?
No. I mean, you have people that go to daycare. Maybe you have the neighborhood daycare. I know the governor has unionized the daycare system, which has created part of this problem. And he's aware of this problem, and for 5 years this has not gone anywhere. It's not stopped, it's not abetted in any way, and it seems to be serving only one constituent, the people of Cedar Riverside. And I think union workers, government workers, I think they would all be incensed if they knew the gravity of this.
If elected to Congress, are there some committees that you'd like to be assigned to?
That's a great question, John. I would like to be on a committee that would either allow for no prison for marijuana. I don't know what committee that would be. And I would like to be on a committee that found a way to, maybe a budget committee. I think a budget committee would.
Because, what would you want to do on a budget committee?
Well,
Ways-
I just think that's the easiest way to stop the foreign wars. It takes someone to step up to say no to these wars.
Cut off the funding.
Right.
Real quick, just returning on the no prison for marijuana, are you for legalization of recreational marijuana?
That's a states' rights issue. It has to be determined at the state level. I know we have the medical marijuana. There's a place right down on Excelsior Boulevard that says medical marijuana. But there's no way someone should lose their house, their car, or go to jail anymore. And I think people that are in jail for marijuana possession should be released. If they want to stay in jail, it's their choice.
Were you endorsed by the Republicans 2 years ago?
I was the endorsed candidate, thank you.
And you did seek endorsement from the DFL this time, right?
I did.
You did, yes.
I was at the, on the
Last-
17th,
last- oh,
Yep.
okay. Just wanted to make sure I had that clarified.
Yeah, about 18% of the people chose for no endorsement.
Well, we've got just a few minutes. Anything you'd like to add, finish up with?
I would. I just want to prevent this modern-day civil war from coming to Minneapolis. I think I'm the best candidate for the DFL at this time. Some people might say I'm the new face of the DFL. You may not want to embrace that because people have kind of embraced socialism. But we've seen in these Latin American countries, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Argentina, their failed society, their money's depreciated, and the middle class is eviscerated. I don't think that's what Minneapolis and the 5th CD wants. I think we want to be able to retire in Minnesota. And getting back to this money going overseas, you look at people that retire and then they sell their house and they go down to Florida, and we hate that. We hate that as Democrats, we hate that as Minnesotans. That's no different from this money going overseas, and it doesn't fund anything locally, it doesn't do anything for daycare, it just goes overseas, and it doesn't help anyone here in the Minneapolis 5th Congressional District.
Real quick clarification, when you say modern day civil war,
this hatred towards the president and his administration. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like his policies. But there's an utter contempt for him, and that it doesn't have to be that way. When other presidents have been elected in contentious elections, John F. Kennedy was one of the most liked presidents in a very close election, 1960. I think, I'm trying to think of the other one, George Bush, not my favorite cup of tea, didn't like the guy so much, got us into it.
I'm gonna try to walk over this time.
What was my best answer? My presentation?
The whole thing was way better.
Thank you.
Way better. Did you tape it?
I did?
Yeah. I think you have a prayer at least.